Hello, Melissa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm right now here with Eric. Eric and myself and soon to be Laura
Okay.
are all hanging out and most anxious to talk with you.
Awesome. I like it when people are anxious. You know, it's usually, oh my gosh, it's broke. Can she fix it? You know?
That's right. So I got a, I always am afraid to deal with that. So I got a kind of a big one.
Okay.
To go over with you.
Okay.
Can you see my page right now?
I can't. Well, it says launching Zoom.
All right. Good. Yeah. So can you see that?
I can.
Okay. Good. So you're in.
Yes.
I have. So here's what we're doing, Melissa. We have a new thing that we want to do for our enrolled students, our 600s.
Yes, sir.
Where we add in a letter from our deans.
Mm-hmm.
Our deans for our 5 divisions now, right? Mm-hmm. For our 5 academic divisions, and the letter is a hey, congratulations, we're excited to have you on board kind of thing.
Yeah, blah blah blah. Okay? Yeah.
Exactly. It. So I definitely understand how to add a document into the standard plan.
Okay.
I definitely understand. I mean, I know how to do that process.
Yes, sir.
What I'm wondering is how is it that we can build whatever it is, the query per each dean, so that majors, when a student goes to 600, their majors will be read and they'll get the right letter from the right dean.
Okay, let me ask you some questions. Do you
Okay.
okay, in EMAS, do you have
Yep.
it for students that broke out by division, like School of Arts and Sciences, School of Medicine, whatever? Do you have that broke out in EMAS?
No.
Okay. Do you want to? You don't have to. I'm just thinking there's two different ways to do this. If you don't want to
Okay.
add anything, then we don't have to. If you don't want to change anything you're doing and you just want to go off majors, I can show you how to do that.
Yeah, I think we'd probably be inclined to do that at this point, Melissa.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Melissa, before we go any further, can you record this for us?
I think it is recording.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we just like to keep it with majors.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And that is the simplest way, depending on what you've got set up. So that's good. Okay, so let's close out of this. Okay. Just out of your majors, yes. Okay, and go to communications. And this is so simple, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. But if you don't know what
I like
to click, so you're going to go to name communications.
Yep.
And let's name that letter whatever you want to, whatever makes sense to you.
So will I have to name that letter 5 different names?
Nope. This is where it changes your life.
My reason for asking that is you're going to have a letter that's coming from 5 different deans.
Yes. Now, well, let me ask you a question before we go that crazy. Let me ask you this question. Is the content of the letter going to be the same?
No.
Okay. So it's not going to be welcome nursing students and then signed by their dean.
So some of the deans want, for example, this is Eric, in the CTE area, Dean Tucker wants to have a custom list of upcoming things that will be different than a non-CTE student would receive.
Okay. Well, now okay.
We didn't want to make this too easy.
No, I was thinking, oh gosh, you're going to just be so happy here, but now we got complicated. That's okay. Okay, so let me show you without the complication, and then we can go back and work through that. So let's pretend there's no complication, and that everybody's sending a welcome letter, and it's essentially the same letter. The only thing different is the signatures.
Okay.
Okay. So you just do an add and letter there, and just name it like you normally would.
Whoa. Hold on. Won't let me do that. Okay.
Okay, and then right there under that where it says variable.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go down through there and you're going to hit primary major.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
And then that's essentially it. So if you were going to send every student that was a nursing major, and I don't know that you have nursing, but every student that had a nursing major, then it would pick up that letter. Okay, so okay, close out of that. And this and if you want, you can go back and you can save it. And
yeah, I'll probably change the name on it.
And you can. This will, you won't have to really change. You can just change the name, etc. And then, do you know about folders? Which folders to put it in? Do you have that sectioned out?
I will create a folder for that.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
And so you know how to do all that.
I sure do.
Okay. And then, over there, variable 2, that's getting real, like if you wanted to do, so let's say, for example, commuter students were different, or part-time or full-time students were different. Like if you had a welcome dean letter for nursing part-time students and their letter was different than a full-time student, then you can divide it out there with those two variables as long as those variables are an option.
So Melissa, right now, if I were, this is kind of a question. Oh, by the way, Laura's here now too, Melissa.
Hi,
Laura.
Hello.
The circumstances for us right now is instituting this. We could use for variable 2 entry term.
Yes.
Be able to do fall 19 entry
Yes.
term.
Yes.
And then the question with that would be, what would happen if we set this up? Would we get everybody who's enrolled? Like, would we be able to start with a bulk mailing to everybody who's already enrolled?
Yes, that you have marked to 600 for file 19.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would automatically catch them, and then it would pick it up day by day as people came through enrolled.
Yes.
All right. So I could use entry term as my second one here.
If you want to, yes.
Okay.
And then,
Cool.
do you have another question?
No.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So it's kind of maybe even for Steve. So if the first one is your major, so do you have to list it for every single program you have then? I mean, you can't do it by division. I guess
So that's-
in some divisions it's different.
That's kind of what, Melissa, you were saying. I'm sort of showing you the easy way first.
Yes.
The way it gets more complicated gets to Laura's question, which is I've got to figure out a way to make sure given dean and given division has given programs assigned to them. Right?
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So,
And
so we have that.
do you have a student record, a sample student record in EMAS?
Yeah, can I get out of this?
Yeah, close out of this right now. I'm kind of backtracking a little bit here, but I wanted to look at something.
What do you want to
Okay.
look at? Well,
I want to see the academic data page.
okay.
I just wanted to see, what do you have under type of institution? It's over on this page over a little bit, like near on the opposite, go back to academic page.
Okay.
Then you see where it says birth date. And then go up column.
Yeah.
And it says type of institution under employer. What's there? Okay. Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to see if I had an idea, but I see what you're doing and that makes sense. Okay, close back out of that.
Do you want out of mine or do you want to stay in mine?
No, you're out. You can go to communications. And if I go too fast, let me know if I need to, and you all just
You're
ask all
doing
the questions because you've got me for a while. And then go to mail merge services and documents.
I don't have the final documents to add yet, do I?
Okay, and then go to find that document that you just created.
So I've got to save those. I got to save those documents. I haven't saved them yet, Melissa. So let me pull one up.
Okay.
From Brendan.
Hold on. Bear with me.
That's okay. Take your time.
He sent it with the final proof of the letterhead.
We're getting there.
That's okay. Take your time.
No.
Make sure that he did. Print.
Dean letter template?
Yep. Should be.
Just one of them?
Yep.
Yeah, there's just the one template. And then there's just customized fields.
Gotcha.
Yep. I get it. When this does the merge, then, Melissa, does it merge directly off of this, or does it throw it over to Word and then Word does the merge?
Word does the merge. As long as
So
the merge
having-
fields.
So yeah, so having the Word, because we're using some specialized letterhead that works for all 4 different letters, but it puts a custom black and white caret kind of graphic where they are at in their application journey. I'll just carry through because that's all done in Word, correct?
Yes.
All right, let's see if so I got to save this in, I got to name communication with this, or just, I can go right from document, right?
Okay.
Mail merge. I think I can.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, so I just got to add it from here.
Yeah, but I want to show you something. So you go to your letter, find it. Okay. Click there. Okay. And so see right there where it says illustration variable 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So you won't rename the letter, but you're going to name and this is the hard part and the easy part, I guess, in some ways. So
Okay.
when you click on variable there, do the caret, and so you've got all of those in there.
Right.
And so if you've got a letter for each one of those majors or those deans in those majors, then you will have, I don't know what happened there, but.
I didn't really do anything.
Well, no, that's not nice.
No, did it just shut me out?
I think so. Yep.
Well, that isn't cool at all.
Well, that was just plumb weird.
Yeah, that's not fair. All right. All right, so communications, and then mail merge documents, and then we're going to add, and then we're going to go letter, and then we're going to go Dean welcome letter 600s, and then we're right here again.
Okay, so you're going to do that, like your variable is going to be, you know, your major, whatever that major is. Then your second variable is going to be file 2019, or, you know, whatever you need it to be. And, and so you're going to save it just like you know, you would do everything you would normally do with a mail merge screen. Or, you know, or not mail merge, but when you're adding a letter, you're going to do everything that you normally do here. Then you're going to just like save it just like you normally do. You're going to go back. And do you remember how, and I'm pointing at my screen because you can see me do that. And, but where it says doc name, Dean's letter, welcome, that's going to show up. And then you're going to select your next item and your next item. And you're going to do everything just like you would normally do with a letter. Does that make sense?
No. So Melissa, when I have this here, it makes sense that under a general circumstance for this dean's welcome letter, that if whoever the dean was, or a dean letter would go out to somebody for illustration, do I have to mark every one of these programs for that dean? Yes.
That's why I was asking if you had it broke out by divisions, like the school of.
Yep.
And is that an easy thing to do? Because we've got those bins. Can we create those bins and just do a roll-up function so that it's all under arts and sciences and all under humanities and whatever else?
Yes. You know, this is like one of those situations. You all have to decide which is the lesser of the two evils for you. You can do it. I mean, if you want to go back, I don't know how many students that you have are a stage 600 right now.
Good question.
And
I guess
I was gonna say 1,100,
yeah,
1,300.
wherever our stats are at the moment. There. Those are the ones I had from earlier today.
you know, if it's, and you know, we
We're
can
just looking
do,
at the number, Melissa.
you know, if we decide to do that, you know, we can do a import, you know, import dominant import of the information.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be
it's going to be a manual. There's some of this is going to be a manual process.
right.
Yeah, I can see though with the number of programs we have that this one could be a little daunting.
Yeah, yeah. And so, you know, you've got to decide what's the lesser of the two evils for you. If you want to go in and we'll have, like, if you go back to, like, you remember there where we clicked variables and there was like counselor, you know, major, site code, that type thing.
Yeah.
You know, you can use any of those. We've just got to make sure that you haven't repurposed that field for something else.
Are those fields customizable or are they set?
They are customizable to a point, but we've just got to see if you've already used them for something else.
Right. So there's a set number of them, but it's a matter of, because then theoretically, correct me if I'm wrong, we should be able to just do a scripted logic of if illustration, then Dean 1, if writing, Dean 3, if welding, Dean 5, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that to me seems like that's going to be, because then we only have to merge 5 different merges because it's one for each Dean. So we just need to figure out then how we roll up these programs to a Dean coding, and there should be one of 5 Dean codings.
Right. And you can do that, you know, if you want it to be school 1, school, however you all decide to do that. That's why I wanted to look at your academic data page, because we, you know, and I'll have to do a little bit of looking and playing on your screen and looking. You don't have a test instance, do you?
I'm sorry, say that again, Melissa?
You have a test instance, a test EMAS or a sandbox EMAS?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. I've never used it in the past year and 2 months, so 3 months.
Okay. And but no, we can do that. I mean, I'm you know, if you've got 20 majors, that's one thing. If you've got 120, that's another, you know, I mean.
More like 120.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably go in and find a place to put my Dean code in, or my major, or my division.
Okay. How do we do that? Do we know how to do that in-house?
Are you talking about me adding them to the to a table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Can I just get out of this without saving it then?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So if I go to, oh, there's so much to look at here. There we go.
Yep.
I go to table maintenance. It would be validation tables, and then it would be.
Well, we've got to see if those have been repurposed for anything that you are using. So go to define field names for me.
What's that? Say it again. Oh, down here?
Yeah. And so, like right here, those, like, you know, have that, like, just go up there where it says descriptive label.
Yeah.
And just kind of look down through there, and let's see here if there's anything that, like site code is one that we can use.
Is there one called college?
College. Let me just see what's up top here. Okay.
If we think of them as colleges, if we're not using that.
Or
I don't see one for college.
okay, let's look at.
Oh, forget it.
College college name.
Okay, so let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So you see right
Okay.
there where it says college, day, night.
Yep.
Okay, and that field name there is DM_CD. You've repurposed that field, and that's okay. Everybody does that. But that was originally a denomination code. So if keeping up with if they're Baptist or Methodist was important to you at your school, then you would not have repurposed that. That wasn't important to you. So you done college day or night. And so that's what I mean by repurpose. So do you know of a field that you're not using? I don't know how else to say it.
Can we run a quick query to get a sense on whether there's valid data in any of the fields?
Not from this. Let's see.
Well, let me just keep looking here.
Yeah, and I can. Okay, degree. Let's see here. Degree program. Right. Division. Are you using division for anything? And it looks like that field name is
Not
gone.
that I'm aware of.
But it looks like that field name is gone for some reason. And that's odd. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, arrow down a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, is there something for, like, we don't have residence halls, is there something around residences or something like that we could repurpose?
If you haven't already repurposed it, like commuter residence, what it's typically called, but I didn't see it, so I feel like it's maybe gone. Location. Oh, that's for your events. Never mind.
Major division?
And where do you have that stored in your, let's go back to your student record.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have majors under activities, majors, and volunteer.
Yeah. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you store anything in volunteers?
Not that I'm aware of, and not off of any inquiry cards or anything like that.
Do you run any reports or anything off of that?
Say that again. I don't know. And actually, what happens? It's funny because the inquiry card that when you're inputting an inquiry card, that activity one comes up. So you've got you have two options for selection of majors when you put it in here in EMAS, and then they provide activity slot, but there is no volunteer slot.
Okay.
So that would be the only way it would go in, is if it came off an inquiry, and we don't use that.
Can we have this auto-populate, Melissa, so that if human resource management is selected, that there's a field that automatically populates with the selected division, which is corresponding to the dean?
You can, yes, but I'll just, I'm brutally honest. There's a fee for that. That's called customized work, and so there would be a fee for EMAS to build that for you.
Okay, because there's a logic coding that has to be done.
Yes.
Okay. And
if you want to do that, I can, we can, I don't have the fees for that. That's actually somebody else that sets up those kind of, how much it would cost, etc. And so if that's something you think you might want to do, then we can do that.
We just got to get tactical in the short term. So, if we can bulk change them at this point on our own somehow, let's just do that.
Exactly. Close back out of this and go to your validation tables again.
So you want me to go to volunteer?
No, over, get out of this one. And then go over here under, go to your majors and let me look at something and see if there's anything defined within the majors.
That was under, what was that called? It wasn't under majors though, wasn't it?
I think that's what it's called though, is majors.
Yeah, they're split up here.
Yeah, but yeah, just look at majors and let me look at something there and hit, yep. Okay. Okay, and then close out of that and go to major division. Okay.
ATP is the only one of our divisions that's in this.
Okay. That's your athletic training, right?
No, it's our advanced technology division. But you're right, under ordinary circumstances, it would be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you are correct in most cases.
Okay. Okay. So I think that probably Okay. Can I drive just a minute?
Yeah, drive away.
Share your screen with me or give me permissions.
Yeah. I thought I did already.
Remote control.
Where?
On the right side.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Control to move.
Okay.
Should have it now.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to think. I mean, I know what we can do. I'm just trying to think of something that would be not as cumbersome. So here is another idea. You see this? The screen is go in and build your divisions out.
Yeah.
And, 3+1 public safety, whatever division that goes in.
Yep.
And, that might be your easiest and cleanest way of doing something. Because then, if you start importing data, a student changes something.
Yep.
You've got a lot of ways that you can break stuff. And so I honestly think that if you go in and you build your divisions based on your degrees here, see, it'll automatically go into your validation, or it'll go into your majors.
Mm-hmm.
And
if we pull major and then major by division, it'll already be populated at the student level relationally,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Makes the most sense then.
Yep.
But that's going to be some handwork. But I think
yeah, for sure.
I think
it seems cleaner though.
But it's just this list right here that we have to go through and match against.
Yes.
And monikers, so we probably should build 6 just to have the 5 that are fully defined in case there's ones that come up that are odd ducks, and then we put the odd ducks into the 6th bin.
Yeah.
And then we go through this list and manually just toggle them, and then we're ready to go because it'll be defined. Correct?
Yes.
So I want to add, I'm in the majors here. So for me I'm going to go through and I'm going to put degree and division in there, right? And then I'm going to hit save.
Okay. Well, first you've got, this is where you got to go back over here and you're going to, where's your divisions here? Where did I just seen that? I just had that.
Validation table, right?
Edit valid. Yeah, that's right. That's edit validation table right there. I'm pointing.
Where did we have that? We just had that.
Scroll down. It's down there, Melissa. And on the little box, the validation table box.
To the right.
To your right. The little box.
Where here?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, scroll down there.
Just scroll down.
But it's typically right here.
Yeah, it was under it's called major
divisions. Right. Okay, golly. And so, yeah, it's like, I know I just seen that, major divisions. So you're going to build your divisions here first.
Yep.
because it's got to have
Yep.
something to tie back to. So you're going to build your major divisions here, and then you're going to go back to your define majors, and you're going to add it here.
Gotcha.
You know, or not
Not
necessarily
add it,
add,
but map it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to map except that right there now, and you'll just map it to that. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
And I think that'll be the easiest way. And it may not be the easiest way, but it's the cleanest way. It's the best way to keep from having, you have less room for error with the student.
Yep.
And then, of course, if a student gets the wrong dean letter, the deans are not going to be happy.
Yep.
And
But in this case, as long as the right code on that left-hand side is attached to the student in EMAS, then they will get the correct divisional letter, as long as then we've mapped the correct code to the right division.
Yes. And then,
Yeah,
and I'm going to close out of this real quick.
Yeah.
I just closed you completely out. No, I didn't.
You're right there, yeah.
Yeah. And what I might do here is, did you call it deans, letter deans? Yeah. Is I might start with division.
Okay.
Because and then is this just coming from the deans? You're not getting as granular as program directors, et cetera, are you?
Just deans.
Just deans. Okay, I would probably start with division and go from there.
Okay.
And that should pull everything clean. If you have questions or something doesn't look right, to yell at me. But that's I think would be the easiest way for you all. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel fine. And then it's a matter of just adding the document in to the market segment standard plans.
Yes. And then, right here, I'm going to go back to your document. Well, where did it go?
I don't know. It should come up under deans.
Oh, I bet we didn't save it before. I was thinking we already saved it, but we didn't.
Yeah, I think we got almost there.
Yeah. And so you can see right here, you got ATP and sample. That was the only two in there in division.
Yep.
And so you would, as you build them, they will be there. And so then, and you can delete all of this out. So I'm going to save this. And
then we're going to add the document.
Right, just like normal, blah, 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 blah. And we'll save it. And then when you come back here, if you have College of Business right here, then you'll click that variable, be College of Business there. Does that make sense? So if you have 5 deans, you're only going to have 5 options right here in your drop down.
Right.
If you have 20 deans,
that makes
is that are we good there?
Yep.
Okay. And and variables makes it really nice. So like if you wanted to do a welcome letter from your counselors, then if you had 5 counselors, then and the letter, and they can be different because you've had them to be different for because different counselors want to say different things. Then you can use those variables as long as there's a variable to pick from. You can use a variable.
Gotcha.
Was that clear as mud, or do you think you got it?
No, I think I'm in good shape. The good thing is you have this taped or recorded as well, so that's good. And then you said the magic words that you'd be okay if I bother you again, right?
Absolutely.
I
This is
just
kind
love
of
hearing
my
you talk. I love the accent. It's awesome.
well, good. The communications is kind of my wheelhouse. And so communications and imports and exports and all of that was kind of my deal. And so anytime you have questions about it, don't hesitate to use me and text me or email me, and I can definitely respond pretty quick. So
Here's one quick one. This is Eric. So in another chunk of the letter, this one we're talking about the 600s. At the 400 level,
Mhm.
If they have checklist items remaining that are mapped in Banner,
Mhm.
how can we import those as custom fields?
Yes, if you have space, if you have like on your user defined pages. Now, are you
Mhm.
talking like tracking items?
Yep.
Yeah. And it would, yes, 300's tracking.
300 tracking, absolutely.
I know that those are mapped in Banner, and my understanding is that they're either brought into EMAS already, but if not, we need to figure out what that looks like.
Yes, and again, that's one of those things that if your IT department doesn't have the time to do it and you want us to do it, that's something that we can work with you to get done. And would be, of course, be glad to do that. And do you know how to set up tracking communications?
Show me.
Okay, so you're going to go here, you're going to name communication. And again, you can delete all this stuff out, but come on. And we're going to go to add, and we're going to do a letter. Well, what is happening here? I'm not closing all the way out.
Yeah. You might have to do one more. There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to add a letter. It's going to be a letter, and we're just going to call it tracking letter, whatever. And then right here, only thing you have to do right there is hit tracking communication. And what it does is, like, let's say that we're needing their ACT scores, their transcripts, and their application fee. But we've got their application fee, so it's only going to send them a letter that says we need your transcripts and your ACT scores. And it's going to be granular enough that we need your South Green High School transcripts. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so, and like if you have 50 tracking items, it'll only send the communication to them that has not been satisfied.
Okay.
So they're not, and you can set it up to go every 14 days. At my prior institution, I sent it every 21 days. And, they could see things falling off of that communication.
Yeah. Okay.
And
do we have these?
Are you using, do you use the standard managed communications pretty heavily?
Say that again. I'm sorry,
Standard.
Melissa. Standard communication, yes.
Manage, okay. And do you all use our text messaging?
No.
Is that something? I love it. It was a game changer for us. I was at Tusculum University, which is a small private faith-based school in East Tennessee, and so it was a game changer for us. We went from being about 20 deposits down when we implemented text messaging, and in 10 days we were 30 ahead.
Yeah, we're using a different platform right now that's kind of a bit of a Frankentext, but we just are putting out an RFP or have put out the RFP for submissions on texting services.
Would you be interested in EMAS?
You guys can respond, but at this point, it's out there in the wild.
Okay. Okay, I'll let our people know, and if that's something they're interested in. But I really like our texting module, just because everything that you send to a student is there, and every time they respond to you via text, it's already in their communication plan. So you've got that back and forth the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's not any export or import or et cetera, those type things.
Yeah, we know that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve does.
Yeah,
He's the import multi-screen master.
Yeah.
Yeah. and that gets tough, you know, and I said, you know, sometimes you have to just be in a room by yourself just to do it, to concentrate. So
Yeah.
We've got him a nice little closet.
Yeah. I have a very
Sounds
nice
great,
little
dear.
room. Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Well, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I think that's the bulk of it.
Yeah. Anything that comes up, Melissa, I'll just bother you.
That's good. That's good. You do that, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, please do. See you later.
All right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.